So there's an old kuden, and it says, a spider is to a web what a ninja is to a rope. Right? And if you think about that's so true. I mean, one thing, like, we always start all of our camps with climbing skills. And I actually talked about that, you know, at our last camp, where how we always we climb with the shuko, and we do all these kind of climbing drills. And you never see other schools year after year after year constantly doing climbing skills within their ninjutsu program. Like, you might find one ninjutsu school doing climbing drills, you know, once way back in the day. But generally speaking, most people will they'll say, oh yeah, our organization teaches about climbing skills. Here's some footage in the 1970s of our organization doing climbing skills with a, you know, Kaginawa or something like that. You know what I mean? And to me, that's not training. That, you know what I mean? That may be research, that may be study, but it's not training. It's not refining a skill. And I do think that's one thing that separates the Budo Ryu from all the other organizations. We're trying to refine skills. We're purposely pushing our bodies to extremes in the heat and all this stuff to find enlightenment through the training and the acquisition of the skill set. It's not just about, okay, here's a scroll, let's read it, let's research it. And I'm not taking shots at people that do that. Everyone lives their life the way they want. Some people like that. They prefer that. They don't want to do the physical conditioning. They don't want to do the sparring and the grappling and the climbing the trees with the hooked ropes and all this kind of stuff. They just don't want to do that kind of stuff. It's not what they want. They want to read books and read scrolls, and that's what they want, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's for them. That's not what we do. We're trying to acquire a higher level of physical skill, and we're trying to reach enlightenment through physical action, through training of the martial arts. Now, people bitch about ninjutsu, whether it's a martial art or this, that, and the other. And at one time, ninjutsu, without doubt, was nothing but, you know, stealth and espionage and guerrilla tactics and information gathering and intelligence, counterintelligence, all this kind of stuff, right? It's what you see in spy versus spy today. I mean, the arson, burning down castles, you know, all that kind of stuff. What once was a martial art used for war has now become a martial art used for enlightenment. Step, throw. And as he looks, that's when you do this. Drill we're going to work with your basic, like maybe like a Nusubito Ashi or something along those lines, just your basic stealth walking. You guys can use actually whatever step you want. We're not going to like limit this to whether it's, you know, Shinobi Ashi or Nusubito Ashi or Ko Ashi or any specific step. But the drill that we're going to do, we're going to take 3 to 5 steps. We're going to get to a Kosadachi, which is that crossed position. We'll pivot, and we'll practicing pivoting into different angles. Okay? And what I mean by that is the drill, the skill set that I want you guys to get. So let's say we start here. I take my foot and I'll cross. We're going to work on that silent movement, right? So we're here. I'll toe to heel, toe to heel, toe to heel. Now watch, I get to this cross position. Now I'm going to turn, okay? Then I'm like this position. And then I'll move here. And then maybe I'll turn to this way. And then I'll move this way. Do you see what I mean? Okay. But the idea is to constantly move to different directions, and because generally speaking we'll practice in a straight line. Like we'll practice even if we're out in the woods or we're over in the sand or we're in the rocks or we're in the grass. And we do change our terrain. I mean, that's one thing, we're always changing terrain, but we tend to still try to go like, okay, I'm going to go from here to that tree. Or I always say, okay guys, go 30 yards out and then come back. I want you guys, we're going to start manipulating a little bit of the angles that we're doing, okay?
not very many people that say I have hold the scrolls, and and I have these scrolls. I'm going to pass down this tradition to the next generation. There are very few people that say that. Lots of people say that they teach ninjutsu. Very few people say they are a ninjutsu soke. When you look at the 4 people, one really sticks out like a sore thumb. So you have Masaaki Hatsumi, who's the 34th soke of the Togakure Ryu, right? You have Shoto Tanamura of the Genbukan. And I forget the specific tradition that he has, but it's like he's the 50th some generation soke of, whatever school that was that he inherited was the Ninpo school, or has lots of Ninpo or ninjutsu in it. And the third one that I would say is Junichi Kawakami, and he is the 21st soke of Kimura Ha Banru. And through my research, he says Banru. Through my research and the documents that I found, it specifically should be Kimura Ha Banru. And then here I am, 21st soke, 21st generational soke of Tomoru. When you look at these 4 individuals that say, we have a ninja lineage, we have a family tradition, and it's been passed down all these generations, and now I'm going to teach it to my group of people that show up at the house of the Hombu, right? When you look at it, you have Hatsumi, which is an older Japanese man in Japan. Shoto Tanamura, who's an older Japanese man in Japan. Junichi Kawakami, older Japanese man in Japan. And then you have me, right? That's why I get people pointing that finger at me so quick, because I don't fit in that box where people think the shape of that box should be. However, if they're trying to put a shape on ninjutsu, then they clearly haven't trained long enough to understand what ninjutsu really is. I understand the image and how this looks, where you have me in America, and I'm saying I'm the 21st generational soke of this particular art, and I understand how that looks and how that can look to people outside of our group. I know you guys are here, and all of you have been here for many years, and I know that you guys don't doubt me in any way, and I respect that. But I understand how it could look from people outside of the organization. But just because it looks a certain way outside the organization doesn't mean that I'm not going to stand up for what I believe is right. Do you know what I'm saying? I know what I have. I know what was given to me. And I'm going to stand 100% by what I have, because I know that my teacher didn't lie to me. I know what I have. The scrolls, the densho, the teachings, the kuden, everything that I went through, I know it's real. I know it is. Because when I do my research and I do my study and I understand, like, these are the things that my teacher gave me and these are the things I give you, everything that I teach fits historically in the time of the ninja. Everything we teach fits historically at the time of the samurai. It's not like I'm having you guys do specific techniques that's just automatically red flagged as, bullshit. We're not doing certain things where, you see these other ninjutsu schools, and they're doing certain things. It's like that was never done in the time of the ninja or time of the samurai. We don't have those kind of techniques. You know what I mean? And even though even though there's not a day goes by I don't get blistered on the internet, that doesn't stop me from doing what's right. And I'm not ever gonna not be the soke that I feel I should be, because I was given something very special and very sacred, and I want to give that back to you guys. Even if it's just a small group, that's okay, because the largest fire starts with a small flame. I do realize that I'm standing up in front of the whole world and I'm taking shots every fucking day, and I give zero shits what people have to say about me or about that, because I know I'm right. And the more I get those shots fired at me, the stronger I feel I need to stand up, because if I don't, no one else will. But it is very special to me, and I do want to give something very special back to you guys. And I want what I learned from my master to survive to the next generations. And that can't happen if I don't stand up to the world and say, no, you're wrong. You know what I mean? If I cower down and I don't stand up for the things that I believe is right, if I cower down and I don't stand up and be the Soke that my teacher thought I was going to be. I was the next one in line. He was the 20th Grand Master, and he gave it to me. Now I'm the 21st. If I don't stand up and do that, regardless of the hate and the bullshit and the finger pointing and all this crap, then I failed. And I'm not going to fail him. I'm not going to fail this tradition, and I sure as hell ain't going to fail any of you.
Rin. Pyo. To. Sha. Kai. Jin. Retsu. Zai. Zen.